All right, so a new Neo Geo prototype has been discovered, and this is pretty big. It was purchased. It was a board that was purchased for about $750 a few years ago, and it took people a while to dump it and to find the information on it. But what was discovered was a fighting game that was currently being in development by Technos. Now, Technos it was the company that was responsible for Double Dragon, the Kunio-kun games, Super Dodgeball, a bunch of classics like that. And what we found after looking through it was a character select menu for a game that had never ever been talked about, not even in previews, nothing like that. It had a full character select screen, and each character you could have chosen a different Dungeons and Dragons like alignment, a good, neutral, or evil, and it appeared to actually change the appearance of the character based upon the alignment that you chose.
Semi-finished, right?
This is interesting because of the amount of work that had apparently already been put into things like graphical assets for the game, and the little bit of gameplay that was there. But no one really knows who developed it. Now, there is a rumor that it was being developed, at least in part, by a company that I'm actually quite fond of called Face, that exploded out of nowhere in the early 90s and disappeared almost as quickly, did a handful of games for the PC Engine. So some people feel that this could be a hoax, but it just seems like a lot of work for a hoax. Why would you spend so much time and effort on creating very fantastic, very accurate to the time period, I believe 1994 Neo Geo assets, just to fool people? I don't think you would.
And plus, it looks like not everything was recovered.
No.
So everything, like, there was a layer containing the font, according to this on the NeoGeo.com forums. The font power bars was gone, which could have contained the game's name. Voice card with the sound effects and voices, if they were done, they're not there. So if you're going to do it, you might as well go out and do more of it, I guess, if you're going to do a hoax.
Right. So, it was originally thought to be a different game entirely, an early prototype of Voltage Fighter Gaokaiser, and it ended up being something entirely different. Who knows? I mean, maybe it was just an old board that they were prototyping it on, and that's, why it appeared to be something that it wasn't. But this is huge news for the community and just very exciting, and it's another example of how lucky we are to have people who are so involved in the preservation of games.
Sure.
This could have easily been trash that we would have never, ever heard about. Could have been in a dumpster somewhere. For all we know, this is all that exists of it.
So it looks like there was 12 characters to select. Some are still roughly drawn or unshaded. So some don't have hitboxes. Some are missing frames of animation. The ones who are complete are very nice. Each character has 3 classes: chaotic, neutral, and lawful. Depending on what class you pick, the character's speed, stance, special moves, and special bar change. Even the character's windscreen sprite changes depending on the class. 2 characters have animal companions who can be used in attacks. The bosses are not selectable, but I managed to get their wind poses a few times and kind of pulled out their sprites while I was messing with the C-ROMs. So
it sounds like it was trying to follow what Samurai Showdown was doing at the time as it went on, which was adding like the slasher bust mechanic where you could change your character's play style to a certain degree. Only this, I mean, honestly, this seems like a very ambitious game. I'm really kind of sad that we won't ever see more of it.
You'd hope that with this coming out, maybe someone who worked at it has a backup somewhere.
Yeah, perhaps it was further along.
It's only like 20 plus years old. It's not like ancient.
Well, because, I mean, honestly, in 1994, that was not the tail end of the Neo Geo. This wasn't abandoned because there wasn't a market for it. It could have been financial constraint. It could have been the developer, if it was Face, no longer making games. But, I mean, seeing this is something that kind of makes me salivate, especially as a fan of fighting games, on the Neo Geo. I would love for more of this to emerge and to see a more complete version of this.
Oh, so I think it might be called Dragon's Heaven.
Okay.
That was the possibility on this article I'm looking at right here, which hopefully doesn't crash my computer because the other one almost did. It's like, geez, how heavy. So yeah, $750 from a Yahoo Japanese auction site. Interesting. Very interesting. But like we said before, not all of the data could be extracted. First, you have to figure out who made the game, then hopefully people can backtrack and find a developer. And maybe they have it laying around on a 20-year-old hard drive or something.
I actually have a friend who's already on the hunt to kind of figure that out.
You would think that someone has it. It'll only be in one place. You would think, hopefully, there's a backup somewhere.
Yep.
But there have been games that have been lost to the annals of time, just like old films that are lost and destroyed. So, all right. Who doesn't love the Neo Geo?